Adventures of Sonic Episode 31, McHopper. Scratch brings a handcuffed civilian to Robotnik. He presses something to somehow get rid of one of his handcuffs, and he expects him to believe he's been fighting Robotnik since he was really little. If Robotnik's been causing trouble for so long, Robotnik should have taken over the world by now. The whole reason he succeeded in Sad AM was because he's been around and did his coup when Sonic was only 5. Robotnik captures the kangaroo insultingly easily, and apparently Sonic's already familiar with Mr. Copper when he's never been seen before. A cone is put on his head, and Robotnik shoots a laser out of Grounder to brainwash him. Okay, so this is roboticization if it was less grim from turning people into creepy looking robots forever. Why doesn't he do this with everyone and take over the world like Sad AM? The brainwashed kangaroo finds a dime, and the way he's talking as he walks away with Tails should immediately tip them off that something's off with him. Not to mention the fact that he doesn't recognize them or know his name. Oh good, Sonic says Robotnik's stolen his mind, as he walks away without actually needing to keep the brainwashing cone on his head. He lures Sonic onto a raft trap and flings them all in the air. This just proves that Robotnik should be hiring people other than Scratch and Grounder to make his traps. Tails flies away to get Sonic a parachute for the raft, being helpful as it slows down their fall. Scratch points out the restaurant where Sonic was supposed to have been captured. Kooper started out showing off as a brilliant freedom fighter, so of course a character other than Sonic is portrayed as worthless. I hope he gets unbrainwashed because this is stupid. Speaking of stupid, somehow the chili restores his mind temporarily. So Sonic forces him to eat a bunch of chili, or at least tries to because he insisted on doing it when he was lying on a raft about to collapse. Kooper's brainwashing isn't that easy to break as he tied up Sonic with chili dogs. He doesn't remember who anyone is all of a sudden. And Tails sprays his face with chili, making him snap out of the brainwashing in an extremely stupid way. The show won't go to any lengths to not have Tails be an engineer. He could have fixed this just fine. Tails somehow fools the robots with a disguise he shouldn't have. I like that they reference the fact that Grounder has been seen eating before. Why would Scratch forget that? The robots get tied up and the heroes escape to a canoe. Scratch jumps into a vehicle and goes through a wall with it. Sonic says he'll build something just the way he was told to by Hopper. Again, why can't Tails build that? Make a water bike himself? Well, Sonic does it faster, but he's not supposed to be an engineer. And Tails was fast in Sonic 2, he should be fast for engineering's sake. Somehow the robots aren't tied up anymore. Not that it matters because they're knocked out of their boat and sent into the water. The hero's boat heads towards a waterfall in the oddly red lake and falls off. McHopper used the tool he has, apparently, to break their fall. Why isn't he around for the whole show as a freedom fighter? We don't need just Sonic around doing all the work. Tails is useless, so might as well add some variety in the heroes. But no, I'm sure McHopper will never be seen again after this episode. Robotnik puts up a bounty for McHopper's head, putting up 3 posters and getting way too exhausted from that. He acts like he has a heart attack, but that's not gonna have proper consequences because that'd be too dark and edgy, so why even write that to happen? The heroes get into the boat and Sonic pedals the bike to spin helicopter blades on top of it, letting them fly away. Grounder's vehicle drives after them, but then he punches Scratch because he wants to drive instead. This somehow flings him ahead and leads to him being competent for a change, as he's flung to the back of the vehicle and ends up sending a plunger to the heroes' boat, causing them to eventually be knocked into a cage. Since Sonic's been shown to be able to spin dash through a metal door, he should just break out of this cage. Instead, they make McHopper useful as he tells them all to lean right and makes things go out of balance, letting them escape. However, he gets re-brainwashed out of nowhere. We weren't told that he had a brainwashing chip in his brain that keeps on activating. He wasn't hit with a brainwashing ray. Where did the heroes' disguises come from? McHopper gets rid of the chili, the heroes end up in the dark, and when McHopper snaps out of it, he gets brainwashed again because he sees a picture of Robotnik. Okay, so there's a catalyst to it. But still, what's making him get brainwashed again just because he sees those pictures? Those pictures don't send hypnotic brainwashing waves at him. He captures Sonic and Tails, making them walk up to Robotnik handcuffed. Robotnik's right up to Sonic, and oddly enough, he doesn't hit him at this point. Instead, he plans to send Sonic on an ocean cruise. With Robotnik briefly making fun of Sonic's creepy catchphrase, Sonic is manipulative with Robotnik, asking for one last chili dog. For no reason at all, because the writers ran out of ideas, Robotnik makes him a Tails one, and leaves him alone with McHopper. Why would he be nice enough to make a chili dog for them? Why? What a deus ex machina to unbrainwashed McHopper. He lies that Sonic's friends are going to rescue Sonic, so he tells Robotnik to install a magnetic force field fence using Sonic to do it. I don't understand. This magnet somehow cleans out Robotnik's evil programming from McHopper's brain. The magnet attracts Scratch's airship to Robotnik's fortress, and since Robotnik's pants keep falling down without his belt, this justifies better him not being able to keep the heroes from escaping before his fortress can get destroyed. Okay, so his fortress got destroyed. That's a pretty major victory for the heroes. And I'm gonna bet that it'll be back to normal the next episode, with no mention of how or what kind of a time skip there was. Because fuck having major victories. The Sonic Says message is that you shouldn't swim in rapids without an adult nearby. It was interesting seeing the premise of this episode, but it was irritating that once again when we see a potential freedom fighter who isn't Sonic, or Yacker, he's kind of wasted because he's got brainwashing in him and is just a thorn in the hero's sides. Why doesn't Robotnik do this with everyone? Send an army of robots to every village you can find. And the idea that Chili could reverse the brainwashing temporarily is just rock stupid to have a Deus Ex Machina. But the worst Deus Ex Machina was the fact that Robotnik made Sonic a chili dog in the first place. This guy isn't worthy of the title Robotnik. I never grew up with the Sonic cartoons, but even I can tell you that Sadie M. Robotnik is better. This stupid behavior suits Eggman, but not someone with this kind of design. I expect better from him. The best Robotnik, cartoon-wise, would be a combination of Sadie and Robotnik and this clown. I don't know, I wanted Sadie and Robotnik to be more entertaining, but that doesn't mean he has to be a completely pathetic idiot at the same time. At least the comics got Robotnik right.